Sarah, Laura Brickson here. Just thought I'd give you a little video about our house and maybe some of our needs. Here's our house. You can kind of see it with our entry. I'm going to pause right here. If you take a look here, I'm going to try to get my finger here. Here's our main bed. As you can see, there's a ton of lilies. We had gotten a bunch free when they had gotten rid of another plot somewhere. Over here to this side, as you can see, I've got nothing. Basically, if you look at it from this perspective, where this one starts, I like this one to start, which is essentially tucked in right behind this tree. Is going to angle back, and we get you closer there. As I turn a little bit, by the way, right here what you're seeing, this is north facing. It's overcast day right now, so you can't really see where the shadows are at. If you look over here at the detached garage, as you can see, this little area right here does not have anything. That's one of the first things that you see, so it would be nice to put something here. I think this is what's called a burning bush. I think I got that from my mom. So anyway, we're going to move forward. And as you can see, we have a lot of daylilies. If you look at this main bed here, along this border, this whole border of Stella d'Oro lilies. They're yellow. I think that's as big as they're going to get. Gee whiz, with all the work getting them in, I don't think I really necessarily want to get rid of them, per se. If you turn over here to the side of the garage, you can see here we have this little garden that we made. And it probably gets more shade than it probably should get, but, you know, it fits us. Over here in the back, I've just started to put in some hollyhocks and some taller things. So maybe even some ideas for back here for some perennial. Anyways, let's get closer here. If you can take a look at our bed, I'm trying to get a higher shot. Take a look. Lot of lilies. They seem to overtake. And I mean, here we have this tree, and it's short, small, little, I think it's like little hydrangea-looking things, and they're supposed to have kind of pink and white flowers. We tried to again, we got these big honking things for free. We do have some other plants that are interspersed in here, and you probably know what they are, the names of them more than I do. A teeny little sedum right now we're trying to get to work out. And here's some more plants that you can see what we have available. If you notice, we have a whole lot of yellow. We have way too much yellow. I would really like to get some more pinks, purples, maroons, blues, just not more yellows. A lot of the daylilies that you're going to see here, when they do bloom, there's a lot of orangey yellows. Here's some more of the plants that we have. Here's our little fieldstone path that we have. With some grass. I really like grasses. I like grasses a lot. In different textures. Some hydrangeas there. I believe they're Annabelle hydrangeas, and they're just about to go in fully bloom here in a little bit. Anyways, as we walk along, I'm going to try to keep this a little bit more brief. As you can tell, as we come along, again, the front of the house, we have the hydrangeas. And hydrangeas seem to do really well. So I'm going to keep them there. You know, oh, by the way, right over here in front of this window, there are some purple irises right here. And there's a white, I'm not exactly sure what they are, but these two I want to stay. So essentially this area can stay. And because they are taken from my grandparents' farm. Okay, as we come around, this side really isn't too bad. We just have some perennial bushes here that have been trimmed. They're doing really well. I added I split some of the lilies and some of the hostas, put them in there. If you take a look at this plum tree, the wind, as it comes off the river, really seems to come, sorry about that, from this direction. We need some support or some trimming or something right here. We're not really sure how to do that to help out that tree. It's not really producing as much as I think it should, like barely any. So I don't know if there's anything that I can do to help. It does flower, but not many plums. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the birds are eating them. As we come around, we have I like to call this rose bush right there. I think he's like a serial killer because he's huge and these are wimpy. This year I put in a bunch of rose fertilizer. Hopefully juice them up. They're not dead, but gee whiz, they pretty near are. Yes, it needs weeding, so no judging. But that rose bush there is huge. But I'm trying to help those other ones, so any advice back there? Eventually, this is the back, by the way. This is southern exposure, and roses need a little water, but we're going to be paving that. If you take a look over here, this is the back with our gazebo. I do like what I did with the beds here. That is going to be staying the way it is. The ferns we end up stealing a little bit from the surrounding forest in the hostas, and we have some cool, I don't know if they're called strawberries and cream, like bushes or something like that, but those are some cool flowers, right in there. If you kind of turn way over here, you can get a little bit of idea what our view is. That is the Red Lake River. You might even be able to hear it. So we have a really nice spot, and we really like living here. It's really pretty. Anyway, as we're coming out, you probably can get dizzy watching my video, and for that I'm sorry. But there's our gazebo. Again, this is southern exposure, but this area right underneath here is a little bit more shady because of the surrounding forests. I would like to have, see if you look down here against the bottom of the gazebo, I would like to have some sort of cover, just as something a little small, like a small little spreading plant. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but just kind of cover it up. Not necessarily a bed, but just a little something that can tuck right up in here. If you look at this side, this is the east side of the deck. Again, we have the bed that kind of replicates the one that was over in the front. Now, if we come along here, we could have something that looks similar to it. We're getting into the area where I want a new bed design, and it's right here. Okay? So, if you take a look here, we have some canna lilies, cannas that I had gotten, bulbs that I had gotten from a friend of mine. I should have planted them earlier. But here's the sticky widget right there. We are on the septic field. So we have stuff like this to contend with. Not sure how to do that or how to deal with it. But I definitely want something that is going to go in this area. I'm going to come from a different angle. I've already circled around the house. We're coming to the front of the house now. And I'll give you an idea of the space. So basically, I want you guys to help me redo the established bed there, and to help me develop a bed here. Essentially, here where it starts, if you come across, it would start about here, right before this, right after this tree. Like there. It's going to kind of angle back. Though it could start, if you want to have it symmetrical to the front of the, with the other bed, just kind of basically come across, just kind of angle like this, so it lines up with that bed. And it would include this tree here. I mean, if it'd be nice to put in an extra path in here, something that kind of comes around, we can do that. If you look over here, as you can see, there's a little flagstone path that we just kind of added. That was nice. I'm also interested in something to do in the very front. This is northern exposure for a basket. That's what we currently have, and that will kind of help us out. So I'll get you some measurements. Hope this helps. Thanks.